Well, again, everyone, it's myself, Nick Michalak, and the magnificent Steve Frazier.
Hello, hello!
Wishing you the very best of Valentine's greetings, and where I don't know if it's actually really particular Valentine's greetings, but we'll wish you well.
Yeah, we try to do a theme every so often.
Every so often. This one fits in nicely. So we are doing, technically this is about a 20th anniversary commentary for the 2001 horror film Valentine.
Can you believe it? 20 years!
20 years. So guys, if you got your own copy of this, whether it's Screen Factory or the old DVD, get your subtitles turned on, your timestamp over to 0 to sync up with our commentary with a countdown, and we'll get going. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
Ominous music, the subtitles say.
Yes.
Beautiful red coloring here on our Warner Brothers logo. That means blood.
Blood red.
Or Valentine's, hearts and chocolates. And
yes. That was the interesting thing on this we'll get into when it hits the credits further out long, but I was watching behind the scenes stuff on this Blu-ray, and no one talked about the fact that they licensed a book just for the name itself, and then threw everything from the book away.
Really?
Because the book, I guess they licensed, has to do with like some kind of thriller author in New York City starts getting stalked by some obsessive fan or something like that.
I see.
With all this Valentine's sort of things hovering around it. It's nothing to do with the plot of this movie. They licensed it just because they liked the title Valentine.
It's a great title.
It's a great title.
There's Denise Richards there.
You didn't need to... That's a good casting for a young version of her. That's perfect.
He looks like a young Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, Christ. It's like, okay, you didn't need to put an option on the book for the title. You could have... Valentine is not like a copyrighted thing, technically. You can use it however you want.
Yeah, it's just a word. We've all been here, right? At the school dance, and nobody wants to dance, and here they are making out under the bleachers. That's fun. I don't know if they would do it here. You ever get the screen debut of a young Noel Fisher? He's the third one on 1, 2, 3 from the left. That guy on the right of your screen. He
looks familiar.
It's his very first screen debut. A lot of people would know him from his 10 years on the show Shameless.
Okay,
set in Chicago.
Mentioned him another one.
I want to say that
showed up in. Goddamn.
He might have shown. Yeah, that's
something in the last year, I think.
He might have shown up in something. But here he was at the age of like 11 or 12, and he gets his debut. He might have had a line. I'm not sure. I don't want to be so dramatic and say this was pretty much my childhood, but I can sympathize with this kid, let's just say.
Yeah.
And, a fun little open.
Yeah, it's nice.
They show the yearbook, they show the pictures,
yeah.
They show him getting rejected. 13 years is lucky or unlucky. Oh, Shelley. Look at a young Katherine Heigl here.
Yeah, and... Spinach guy here.
This is long before she'd go on to win Emmys. And
yeah. Apparently, when she went on to this film, she only read... typically, as actors do, they'll just read their part of the script and not read the rest of it. When she saw the whole film, she kind of regretted being in this whole movie.
Why?
I don't know, it's just some aversion to the just being in a bloody horror film or something. I don't know exactly what her perception of it was. I mean, most of what the rest of the film is pretty much contained within this opening set of scenes with her, so I don't know exactly what she was expecting.
What kind of idiot only reads a little bit? I mean,
there's actors do all kinds of
look
odd
at your
things.
part, I get that,
Yeah.
but...
It's like, even here, they had interviews from, like, the editor and the composer and whatnot. They all read the script. They all read the whole script before they got on the film. But, I don't know. Some people just like... If you die on page 5, are you going to read the other 80 pages? I don't know.
I mean, I kind of would. I want to know what kind of movie am I in?
I would imagine you'd want to, but I don't
or
know.
At least have your agent read it or something.
Yeah, something.
Hey, what is this?
Yeah.
They do a great job in this movie of setting up all of the misdirection.
Yeah.
And creating these characters that everyone seems like, oh.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy is goofy.
Just fuck him.
Parking for staff and students over there on the right, you can tell is a sign, as we know and love here on this show, where they just slap a sign on something.
Yes, indeed. Makes it official.
Oh, there's your boy, Rick.
Oh, yes, Rick Boda.
Rick Boda.
Cinematographer. He also shot a whole bunch of things, but he also shot House on Haunted Hill remake. And he shot like 3 of the direct-to-video Hellraiser sequels.
Okay.
And the last 2 he did was like Deader and Hellworld, which you probably don't give a shit about anyway.
I've never heard of it.
Just for timeline consistency. At that point in time where he made those, Disney and Miramax and Weinstein's were all breaking up.
That looks terrible, by the way, that Cadaver.
Yeah. But all those companies were starting to break up and everything, so they were selling off rights to this, that, and the other thing. And so his last 2 Hellraiser sequels got put into, like, limbo or whatnot, and release date limbo while I was running the Federal Horror website. And so I found an old email where I replied back to him, because he contacted me after a whole, like, deluge of information got put on some sort of offbeat website about plot synopsis that was, like, spoilerific.
For the Hellraiser show?
For one of the Hellraiser films that he did.
Okay.
And so he actually contacted me.
He
just emailed me through the website.
But you didn't email him first?
No.
Oh, wow.
He contacted me first.
Okay.
And he was telling me about a lot of this stuff was very spoiler heavy, and he didn't care for that. And I told him I'd go off and kind of edit down the synopsis a little bit and stuff like that. So we got into a little exchange for a little while there, because every so often there'd be new rumors about, oh, this is going to be released on this date, but then no, he'd tell me, no, that's not the case. That's not being released then.
Little insider information. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. And then up to a certain point, because I had already done like the email interview with Robert Englund on the website and stuff like that, and I asked him if it'd be okay if I sent him a couple questions, and he said, yeah. I sent him the questions, and I never heard back from him ever again.
The cinematographer guy?
Yeah,
Rick
Boda.
Okay.
That was the last.
He ghosted you?
Yeah.
You were ghosted by Rick Boda?
He said he agreed to a email interview, and they weren't like pressing questions or anything. They're just kind of general.
Just a generic,
general,
biographical, whatever. Yeah.
Just never got back to me again. So up in nowhere. So.
Huh.
That was about 2005, 2004, 2005.
All of these cards are so elaborate.
Almost like Riddler in Forever.
There's much more riddle involved in this.
Much more riddle involved with it
than there ever was in that.
A lot more going on. A little more balance between the elaborateness of the card and the cleverness of the idea.
And again, the misdirection of whoever that guy was.
Yeah.
Chances are he's the one who put it there.
Yeah, a classmate or whatever I think it is.
But then, maybe not.
Yeah.
Is she allowed to do this type of procedure wearing that outfit?
You would imagine she would have surgical clothes on to...
I mean, she's kind of why is she working at night by herself? She doesn't seem like the top person at this facility. She seems kind of like a...
Well, and she's studying to be a medical student, so this is more of a after-hours thing she's doing for the class or something, I'd imagine. Guy actually looks kind of familiar, to be honest with you. I think I've seen him in something where he's not so corpsed out.
I can't imagine they get somebody famous for that, though.
Oh, no, he's probably some starting out dude. I'm just saying, maybe like 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, I probably saw him in something.
First role, Cadaver. I thought it looked fake.
Yeah.
At least she has a glove on.
Yeah.
Now you got to change your glove. You touch the door. She's so young and like baby face.
Yeah.
I dig this setup too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
It's terrifying. Can you imagine being in this situation? First of all, having the cadaver come to life. I don't know if I'd hold the scalpel in that kind of stabbing overhand motion.
It's not quite designed for that.
Well, it worked in her favor, didn't it?
Well,
fuck us, because what do we know?
The hell do I know?
Did that elevator say, please stop using after 11 p.m.?
I guess so.
Why?
I don't know.
We're trying to conserve the electric bill?
It's me.
Now, all of those are full, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know. There was a body in every single one of those.
I believe so, yeah.
Which makes me wonder, what did she do with the body from the one that she got in? I also think there's a constant struggle to come up with a new character.
Yeah.
And
Slasher character, yeah.
Especially when it's, a masked man or something.
Right.
So I think they've done something here that's fairly creative.
Yeah.
They've given him generic clothes. They've given him kind of a creepy cherubic mask.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it.
I mean, the writers found the mask extremely creepy. It doesn't give you much of a vibe off it.
Good night. I think it's creepy.
Okay.
I don't know about this, though. The entire premise of this movie is predicated on this nosebleed.
Right.
Through the mask. Would that happen? It would probably go down in the front and get the guy's mouth.
Yeah.
Denise Richards is a very striking lady.
Yeah, I mean, she was interviewed on this Blu-ray, and she's about 40, at the time they probably did this, she was about 48, and she looked really good for a woman of 48.
Yeah.
She looked really, really solid. Even her, I think it's Marley Shelton, she looks like she barely aged a day.
This gal here on the left?
Right about this time, Richards was with old Carlos Estevez.
Oh, really? Still?
Well, I think it was about the mid-2000s.
When did she get with Richie Sambora? Was that earlier? Was that not her? Oh, no, that was Heather Locklear.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't...
She was married to Sheen in 2002 to 2006, so she would have been hooked up right about this time.
Huh.
And Richards is from Downers Grove, Illinois.
Oh, really? Same as Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes from us as we sit here.
Yeah. Speed dating thing was hot for about a minute.
Yes, it was. I've never done it. I certainly would. I think it'd be hilarious.
I'd find it very awkward. It's like you can spend a whole night with one creep, or you can spend like a couple minutes meeting about 30 different creeps.
Yeah, but this guy looks good. This guy looks... I mean, obviously they both are.
Oh. Yeah, so... He's interested anyway.
What a... Man. You're supposed to be a wingman, not a cock block. Dorothy. I think this movie has a very early 2000s feel.
Yeah.
But it does come off way better as a story.
Yeah.
I think than some of the other...
It has almost kind of a overlap style from like Scream and like Final Destination in a certain way. And just in aesthetically feeling.
Yeah, I could see this. This feels like a Final Destination movie. I think the speed dating guy was better looking than this guy.
Boreanaz?
Yeah. And what was with this picture you sent me of this guy?
I was watching this the interview with Richards last night. There was some photograph with like I think it was like her and Boreanaz at the premiere
of this movie.
And, yeah, and he's wearing this like powder blue turtleneck with a blazer on. It's like this ain't working, man.
And his hair was all messed up.
Not working, man. Not working.
We should post that photo when.
Yeah.
We'll share that out on social so you all can see how terrible this idiot looked.
It was just too like way off. Yeah, Boreanaz would have been shooting this right after the first season of Angel, so he had about 2 weeks to film everything on the movie.
You can do it. I think they've also done a good job here of setting up their relationship.
Yeah.
They teased us with the bottle of tequila or whatever it is. You know, is he actually an alcoholic?
Mm-hmm.
Awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Like that's well done.
Yeah.
He just wants his girl back.
Yeah.
And she's just not sure.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds me of Lisa Wilcox.
Yeah. And that's Jessica Capshaw, who is the daughter of Kate Capshaw.
Oh, really?
Which means she's the stepdaughter of Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a tough responsibility.
Yeah, that's something to live up to. Yeah, they all do feel like Elm Street ladies.
Yeah.
Little Arquette, little Wilcox, little here and there.
Little Langenkamp.
Yeah. Little Amanda Weiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little John Saxon.
He's got a little that square shoulder type of thing going.
He's got a little, like, James Caan, but also Woody Harrelson, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Remember when business cards were a thing? I mean, I guess they're still a thing, but...
Yeah. They're not like an American Psycho thing.
Right. I never understood this house. How do you... This driveway? It's a one-way in. These cards are also very elaborate.
Yes.
And seemingly homemade, which is very difficult.
Extremely.
I don't know where I've seen her before, but she's in something else that I definitely know her from. Unless it's just her Laura Linney mouth that I'm confused by.
Yes.
Huh. For a housekeeper, she seems very unwilling.
Yeah.
Also very weird that have somebody you've only known for a little while.
Like
just,
a month or so is
like,
what
I'll just
they
move
can get
in.
on. Yeah.
That, you know, he could be a murderer or something. That was very fast, this sex time with the Asian lady and the daddy.
Oh, wow.
Ha! Hilarious. Hilarious.
Ooh.
They've they've done a really great job of basically typecasting and prejudicing all of these archetypes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I never understood. Well, I shouldn't say never understood, but I'm confused because, like, did two of these people live? Are they roommates? Because they're always in this apartment together. What the hell do I know? Does it matter? Not really. That's not how I wash my hair.
No.
And I always wonder if I'm doing it wrong when I see people in movies that. My hair would not stay up like that. Even with shampoo in it. Now, I don't even understand how they achieved this particular visual. Look at that TV. Remember when TVs were square? That was a good old time, huh? This really is a nightmare. I 100% can sympathize with this. Or, ooh, look at, she's got some General Foods International coffee over there on the top of the stove, that little red and white tin.
Okay.
Like Cafe Mocha or forget which. There were like a million different ones. $3 or $4. Or like hot cocoa, but gourmet.
Okay.
God damn it, they were good. GFIC. There was like an Italian one that was my favorite. Had a little cinnamon or something in it. I don't know. Quite delicious. Dime store, instant cappuccino, but whew. It certainly wasn't cheap when I was a kid. The thought of doing this is absolutely...
Yeah, no.
And she gets it all in one dip?
No.
Fuck that.
No.
There's no way. Look at all that hair. This doesn't have quite the same tension that the opening scene did.
No.
Mainly because she's in more personal peril, I think, with the hair and the,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like she's got her own shit going on as opposed to
Okay.
like stuff's been moved and the door's open and
Okay, yeah.
I think the mask is terrifying.
Okay.
He's also terrifying. Gary. Great hair though. Who speaks only in rhymes? Good God. Remember when this used to be a thing?
Oh, man.
Maybe it's these two I'm thinking of that are always like in the same apartment together. Bay Area dating something. They have a juke though, yeah. Can you get a look at this lampshade over here on the left with the red and the yellow and the
look.
red, yellow, green? Holy Christ! Who decorated this set?
Whew.
These cats? Come on. I'm a cat person, but no. I do love me some Cap'n Crunch though. That's my jam. She looked down first, and then... Again, another very elaborate card.
Yeah.
John Mayer. John Mayer sent it. I mean, he is kind of a ladies' man.
Okay. I wouldn't know.
Ew! How do you even make that? I actually want to barf right now watching that. It's really gross.
Yeah.
There's another hideous lamp.
Maybe it's John Mellencamp.
Okay.
Scroll through some
John Mellon. Sure. That was a 6th grade dance? How dare you make fun of the little kid? He's 10 or 11. Jeremy Melton. I would have, little Jeffrey Dahmer kid. I would have been his friend. I'd still be throwing up.
The film does have a bit of that 80s setup in a certain way. There are a lot of like murder mystery slashers back then. I mean, My Bloody Valentine was one of them, and
sure,
Happy Birthday to Me, and there's a couple other
April
ones.
Fool's Day was set up kind of.
Prom Night was kind of similar setup as well.
Terror Train.
Yeah, yeah.
All available in the archives now.
Well,
not
Night
all.
will be coming eventually.
Prom Night is the only Jamie Lee Curtis slasher, Scream Queen era that we didn't do. So
we've got it pinned on the board, proverbially.
You just have to wait till prom time.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, he looks like a douche.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But that's fine. His eyes are like black.
Look at those eyes.
Speaking of dolls, on the left there, she looks like an actual doll. I don't know if it's the eye makeup. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of popping it out more.
Oh, this guy. I don't know if it's just the fact that she looks exactly like Laura Linney.
Yeah, I was just looking at her filmography. There was like guest spots in a couple of TV shows here and there. There wasn't anything that really stood out.
This has got to be her biggest role then. Weird.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's interesting that they're all girls.
It's definitely a different approach.
Yeah.
They had a real focus on focusing on women trying to find these different avenues towards relationships, stuff like that, to build the Valentine idea around.
Well, and Valentine's Day was really manufactured for the ladies. So I guess it makes sense that they're all being wooed and or trying to find
a special someone. Yeah.
This guy ain't it.
Oh, he ain't no. Yeah, guys like that were dime a dozen in the 90s. You always end up being the sleaze bag in the movie or something.
Yeah. This is a very strange art.
It's very weird avant-garde pretentiousness.
They're not even looking. They're just walking.
Yeah, just passive glances.
Like we've all been at like a museum where we're just walking through with a group and we're like, oh, glancing, not actually studying or learning.
No.
Just looking and looking. Did she go on the girl's side? Or the boys' side, rather?
Need some braces, pal.
That's fine. Not everybody can be perfect.
No.
And where is everybody else?
That's the thing. There's no geography.
It's the middle of the exhibit, and they're just going to do it right here.
Yeah.
And then they're going to harken in this third person, potentially.
Yeah. Voyeur.
Don't get me wrong, I'm all for it, but... Oh, she's welcome here.
Yeah.
Come on in, Amy.
She's all part of the party.
that really would be a... Like, without talking about it first...
Sure, yeah.
That is kind of a deal breaker, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's a flight attendant.
Okay.
And that plays into...
I didn't catch that the first time around. My first rewatch.
I think. Either way, she's out of town. When
She's intended to be leaving town.
Right.
Yes.
When the events of the movie take place, she's not around.
It creates a cover story for her being dead now.
Right.
2 minutes here. It's no Hall of Mirrors, I'll tell you that much.
It's trying to be.
It's yeah.
But also, it's supposed to be, sexy and...
Right.
Showing off...
Well, it's that douchebag's freaking exhibit, so of course it's full of itself. That's a good shot. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice low to the ground.
The bloody nose is still weird.
Well, it's weird because you see the bloody nose here, but then they cut back, it's not there.
Well, it was there in all those shots.
Well, no, because in a moment, now it drips down.
Oh.
Someone
they
shuffled a couple shots around in editing.
Oopsie.
So it didn't shoot enough coverage.
Huh. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. I noticed it when I was watching it the other day. But that's a good kill. I like the arrow.
Arrows are great.
The Cupid arrow idea is nice.
Right, yeah. Because he is, cherubic, like I said. It's a Cupid face.
Yeah. BlowMeDry.com.
So, this is one of those convenient, like, why would how are all of these people at the same place?
It's a little over. Way too much convenient story overlapping in the same geography.
He's just far too jockey for me. I don't know. He seems like the type that would go... They both seem like the type that would go after each other.
Yeah.
Like, she would be the head cheerleader. He's the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't look like a quarterback, nobody does.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is always... Every time I've watched this, which has been, like, a huge amount of times, but it's always felt because Boreanaz' scenes seem mainly just with her.
Correct.
So he always just seems like he's kind of like the special guest star in the movie. Because, like I said, I don't think he shot for 2 weeks straight. He just shot a couple of days within a 2 week span to get all the stuff in. So he's not mingling with, like, Denise Richards' character or some other characters here and there. He's not as widespread in the story. He always feels kind of...
That's because...
off to the side in the movie.
They had broken up.
Right.
On again, off again, whatever.
Right.
So, Richard says that, that they had that conversation about whether they actually wanted to be together. So it makes sense that he's not necessarily part of the team,
mingling,
the group,
I get that.
Because it's just him trying to reconcile.
Right. I always felt like there could have been an extra interaction with some other part of the cast and make it not feel so disconnected in a certain way. I don't know. That's just me.
There it is. Mm-hmm. That's the one that... Of course he's the one that's doing it. It's a decent premise.
Yeah.
The problem is they've kind of set up that it's all of all of these characters that they've shown us, like it's going to be one of them.
Right.
But none of them could really, I mean, visually be the grown-up version of that little kid.
Right.
So it almost feels cheap in the end when they do the plastic surgery angle or whatever they do.
I don't know.
And
they don't have much of an explanation at the end, I don't think.
It just seems like a stretch. It's good, and I'm entertained the whole way through because it wants me to decide which one of these people,
Right.
Nope. It was consensual. I do think all of the casting was really good.
Yeah. All the ladies are really well cast.
The young to old.
Yeah.
I think are really stellar.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because the little girls only had 10 seconds of screen time. It'd have been nice if they'd have done some other flashback here and there.
Yeah.
Not to turn it into a now and then situation,
right.
With Rosie O'Donnell, which is a good movie, but
just have a couple of flashbacks, like kind of little pieces.
Just to help you remember.
Little pieces come back together.
When I watched this again a couple months ago in prep for this, it took me till about here that I figured out that all of the girls at the beginning were the ones in you know what I mean?
Okay.
There just wasn't that connection for me.
Yeah, the only one that again, made a direct connection because they cast the one for young Denise Richards very well. She looked exactly like her. The rest of them weren't as much of a match.
I mean, I guess I figured it out, but and it wasn't this late into the movie. I'm not a complete idiot.
Because also they set up the whole thing. Katherine Heigl's character, like the Drew Barrymore type of thing in Scream.
Yep.
You think she's going to be the main thing, but then she gets. So that kind of throws you off. You're trying to connect her to the other one of the main girls that had a little bit more screen time at the beginning. So you get a little lost.
Now, could we make an argument that the revelation of the name Jeremy Melton could be a midpoint?
Okay.
Because
potentially.
But we're a little early, aren't we? We're only. I mean, that was only
a few minutes short.
That was only 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what could possibly happen here that would be the pivot point for our midpoint. To me, it makes sense that they now have a name.
Pinpointed who they believe might be who it is.
Right. That's. Because now that changes their course of action going forward. She is very good looking.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they could have done a little more shading with Boreanaz's character, just have him a little bit more haunted or something like that. It's a little more undercurrent.
I think they're getting there, but they took their sweet time.
Yeah.
That's true. Although it wasn't really them, it was the other boys. Well, I guess it was the girl, the Dorothy.
Yeah. I think there was some kind of, I don't think it was shot, I think it was something that was in the script or some draft of the script where they say like the leader of those kids, they found him dead or something like that, so that kid was already taken care of, but it would have been off screen. So
what a terrible aging process this is.
It looks fucking awful. Looks like an alien.
This is kind of fun though, because as the viewer you're waiting
trying to see if there's going to be some that matches up.
Right, somebody that we know.
Right.
Great point.
Right.
God, that's good.
Yeah.
That is such a Steve thing to say right there.
Yes.
You'd think I wrote that scene. Huh. Very unprofessional relationship that these two have.
Oh, yeah. I'll get into it in a minute here.
He's got his taco meat hanging out there out of the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
They really are setting up. It seems very obvious now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, to me.
Going back around with it. Yeah.
And I've known him for 2 weeks. A month.
1 month. There was someone I knew for a month. I would not be vouching for them as not being a suspect in a crime.
Yes, but would you have them living with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Christ, no.
These kinds of movies are very tough to do.
Yeah.
Because, well, at this point, all signs point to this Campbell guy, right?
Right.
So as the viewer of these types
he's
of
the least known quantity here.
Right. As the viewer of these types of movies, folks like you and I are conditioned to say, well, it's not going to be that guy because that's the guy they're pointing me at.
Right.
So it almost does the opposite of what it's supposed to do for us.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to take those blinders off and say, will it work for the other 90% of the audience?
Yeah.
Because what if you and I only account for a handful?
Right. As the rest of the audience is going to be lured into
Right.
And
fall for the
whatever
trap.
you want to call it.
Yeah. The narrative.
The red herrings.
Yeah.
Now, they had a whole long, droning-on interview with the writers on this movie, on the disc. And one thing that they noticed that when they rewatched this scene, they said, we would never do this scene
Today. Oh, of course not.
They had no idea what they were thinking, having him come on to her. This was kind of the point of the film. Was like, do all the guys in the film have to be like detestable, lecherous guys?
Right.
They're all written exactly like this.
We can't even have one good guy.
No.
And it's the cop. Can't even be the one good guy.
Right. I mean, the only halfway decent guy we've gotten is Boreanaz. But even he has got
he's shitty.
Alcoholic
Right.
crap in his background.
I guess the Campbell guy isn't nefarious in any way.
Not yet, anyway.
Well, right. And we're halfway in.
Yeah.
That's a little weird. He's already bleeding
He's
here,
already.
too. Now I'm going to be looking for it. Oh, yeah. He's putting on the panties, garters, or whatever. That's true.
I am not well. You didn't even rhyme it.
Ow! He got Joe Pesci there.
I guess the supposedly the original version of that scene had a lot more hits of the iron onto the guy, but they kind of cut it back.
Strange how movies that have a dire need for cutbacks never get them.
Yeah.
But movies like this, where you just want to show what's happening, and people say, no, we got to cut that. We can't show you the actual action.
Yeah.
But other movies, like the one we just covered, needed, a hacksaw taken to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And nothing ever happens. Life is unfair, folks. Yeah. Life is unfair.
I guess the editor on this one, he worked on a couple John Carpenter films. He worked on Prince of Darkness and They Live and Big Trouble in Little China. He did Jason Takes Manhattan and a couple other things like Con Air. So he had a nice track record, being a fairly solid editor and everything.
It's a fuck card. I don't know. Something about his character just doesn't work for me.
It's
something
creepy. That stands out about him.
It's creepy, but yeah, I don't know.
Entirely, it does more to stand out than fit in a certain way. Yeah, I love the whole series of Angel and everything, but maybe he just wasn't the right casting choice.
That could be.
There's plenty of fine actors who just get put into the wrong roles, or they just don't fit.
She's making a screwdriver?
The middle of the day.
I guess this starts to create a little tension between the ladies.
Yeah.
Campbell's all you've got. You've got a rich dad. You've known him for a month.
Yeah.
That's a little dramatic, don't you think? Campbell's all I've got. Come on. I'm not buying that for $1. And at what point does a detective call a random person and just give updates like that?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't.
No, that doesn't
Spoiler
tend to happen.
alert.
No.
Cops keep things inside as long as they possibly can.
Right.
You don't just call up somebody that's involved in the case with an update.
Yeah.
And the point of this whole discussion is that they came and got this Campbell guy and talked to him for so long that it ruined everyone's day, right?
Supposedly, that's what she's going on
because they're setting
about.
up this party and now he can't do this and that and the other thing. Meanwhile, she gets him a Rolex. Maybe it's not a Rolex, but maybe it is. I don't know. I can't tell.
Maybe it's a quartz Timex or something. I don't know.
I can't tell a wristwatch from a wrist lock, as the old saying goes. Ew. And
yeah, you know that look.
On her? What are you trying to say? I know that look. Actually, I think I do know that look. Never mind.
Nothing happened here. You need to take a shower when nothing happened?
Well, she's got to get herself ready for the party. And I guess that's her way of saying, I guess nothing's going to happen, so I'm going to go.
Okay.
Because you don't want to bone after the shower.
Well, he's not boning at all, man.
Well, no. Oh, it's a Valentine or a Cupid or a whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the writers on this film did a lot of work on Beverly Hills 90210. Can you kind of tell?
Absolutely, I can tell.
Yes.
That might have even still been on the air at this time.
I believe it was, yes. Because they were kind of jockeying between, kind of moonlighting, working on this, not making them know in the series that they were actually working on a film because they didn't want to lose the job in the series.
Yeah, 90210 was big when we were kids. Like middle school.
Yeah. I only caught episodes here and there. I was never caught on with it.
I watched it fairly regularly. But I always liked, I also watched All My Children with my grandma.
Okay.
On days that I was, I just got into soaps and...
Mm-hmm.
I'm such a sucker for good story.
Mm-hmm.
Or any story, really.
Right.
It doesn't even have to be good, judging by half of the movies we've talked about in this show.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time they've really set up anything where he's suspicious.
Yeah.
And we're almost an hour in.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a way to say, oh, look, maybe it is him.
Yeah. But then, in a minute here, he's... Mm-hmm.
It is kind of a good character twist.
Yeah.
Where everything is fake and now you don't know what to believe.
Yeah. But both in a good way. Okay, we are keeping quotient up of making sure there's a horror-based scene every so often. But okay.
But there hasn't been in a while.
Not in a while, but just the fact, okay, you reveal this twist for this guy, you make him maybe suspicious and whatnot, but then he's going to be right involved with a chase, stalk and slash scene. So then he's going to be eliminated from the film. So now he's not once he becomes a suspect, 2 minutes later, he's no longer a suspect because he's dead.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So if you're trying to create suspicion and a little
misdirection
or paranoia, that you kind of quell that too quickly. It'd be interesting to see, like, okay, when now we've seen him take this turn, and then have a couple more scenes between the two of them, and have a little, maybe some tension build up. Then can they move somewhere else?
Well, yeah, give him a point. Give the other characters a chance to suspect him.
Right, because
beyond he's the handsome stranger.
Right.
I've never had to do that, but I'm terrified of it.
Not directly. Had to do the electric ignition and whatnot.
Excuse me. There you go. Crank it up.
Yeah.
Ah. Ugh. Like Vic in the candy bar. That's what I think of every time somebody get an axe to the back. See, now look at this. The cars are going.
Kind of winds back around, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. House parties never look like this, by the way. Ever.
No. Too much white man dancing in the back.
Oh, a lot of it. this always bothered me too. She's standing there as a wallflower, doing nothing. And then the minute that she shows up, she goes, I'm going to go look around. It's like, wait, why wouldn't you just have been doing that?
Yeah.
It's her own, like, private dining area?
Yeah.
Hey, the first time he's been in a scene with anyone else.
Yeah, there you go.
At the hour mark. I mean, look at these professional catering racks behind here.
Yeah.
What it must be like to have all that money. Disposable income. Full on staff. Like, this is a staff room.
Yeah, yeah.
Aside from the cards, they haven't really done a lot to indicate that it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd thing where, like, the screener said we got books and books of different sort of Valentine lore and stuff like that, and they said they were trying to add it in, but there's nothing really here.
No, it's just a murder mystery.
Yeah.
I mean, this could have been taken place at St. Patrick's Day 2 weeks later.
Sure.
You know? But there's already a Leprechaun movie out for that.
Yeah, we don't need that. Oh, this guy.
Yeah, turbo dating. Twice if you let me. Oh, no, that's not what he meant. Okay. Oh, sorry. See, now that's a little
forward.
A little forward, sure. First of all, sorry to get on my soapbox again. When you go into a stranger's house for a house party,
Okay.
why is it that people in the movie suddenly think that every room upstairs is available for them to fuck in?
Any which way you want it.
If it's not your house, you stay in the common area.
Yes.
Like, if Dorothy wants to take him up, you're like, hey, let me take you upstairs. Then it's private.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they're standing awkwardly in this room. And when did they light all of these candles? There's like a... He's got a surprise.
Oh, he got surprised.
This makes me laugh. I love her face. The look down, the look up.
Oh, yeah.
He's so proud of himself.
So sweet. It's like...
What are you waiting for? Wax it?
Wax.
I'd never heard that phrase for a blowy. Wax it. What does that even mean?
Wax on, wax off.
Like polish it, I guess, but wax? That's different.
It's a reverse engineered punchline.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's put together.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine what the rest of him looks like.
No.
I mean, the fact that he said, "What are you waiting for?"
Oh, yeah.
Like, look at all these candles.
Oh, yeah.
When were they lit? Clearly hours ago, based on their burn mark. Maybe not hours, but a long time ago. That's
my guy Boda, man.
The ghoster. Yeah.
Ghoster.
He ghosted you. That rat bastard. At this point, I saw the punchline coming a mile away.
Yeah. It's like, nah, she ain't getting on with this guy.
And I don't particularly care for the fact there's going to be a second here, right here. You still want me to wax it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's a little telegraph.
Yeah, it's so...
Yeah. But it's still funny enough. He's been acting like a...
That would hurt so bad.
Oh.
I can't even begin to tell you. Did I ever tell you about the time I spilled hot coffee on my dick?
I believe so.
It was gas station coffee, which naturally is kept at 200 degrees.
Sure.
I was leaving the gas station, and I, put the cup between my legs in order to, like, put my gloves on, or I don't know what. And, of course, I jostled, which sloshed the coffee, right? And it spilled, and it was so painful, I literally had to get out of the car and, like, walk around.
Ow.
Gas station coffee, 200 degrees. And why is she at the party?
Yeah, it's not really explained. She just happens to show up.
She's like the scorned ex of the Campbell character.
Oh, yeah, and she's saying,
why?
"Oh, that's my necklace. He stole it from me and gave it to you."
How does she even know where she lives? How does she know that character at all?
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
There we go. Get nice and loaded.
Maybe I'll just go veg out with you. And this guy.
See, they're all just coming back in. Just like an open invite on Facebook. Everyone just shows up.
Do you live in this town? Come to my house. Where's that Amy lady with her titties hanging?
Yeah, what the hell are you bothering with this? You titty woman. Go bang her.
Yeah, he's such an asshole.
Yeah, just... I'd throw him right out the fucking window. Not even the door. You're just going out the window.
Like, look at this mass exodus from the party. How many people are invited? What's the capacity of this one? Yeah, that's worth some money. And again, is she went upstairs to like snoop around the house? Yeah, this is his room in the mansion. Okay.
Yes.
I guess you kind of want to see this woman die because she's so awful, but I still don't understand why she's there.
Well, it's kind of the weird dichotomy. It's like, okay, yeah, she's being really obnoxious, but as we just saw the Campbell character, he is a jackass. He's a thief.
Right.
She's completely justified acting the way she is.
I mean, look at the champagne on the pool table. Come on. And he's killed
Yeah, he had to kill the help.
The help. I love it. He's already bleeding.
Ouch.
Jesus. Concussed. How do you feel about that plaid wallpaper? That tartan,
a little much.
Tartan print?
It's a little much.
It feels very kind of library billiard roomy, though.
Yeah.
That's where the Scotch whiskey would be.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a light shining just on a doorknob.
Yes.
I know in my house I have all the lights aimed at the doorknobs.
No, otherwise you just keep smacking yourself into the wall.
Ooh, a sauna. I love a sauna.
It's turning to Jason Takes Manhattan anyway.
Saunas are great. Especially the kind that have the little rocks in them where you put the water on, it steams. Oh, yeah. I would take a hot tub over a sauna, but I do love a sauna. Which means I really love a hot tub. And I believe there's a hot tub coming up in this movie.
Yes, very nice scene.
Is it, though? I have issues with it.
It could be nicer.
We're gonna have a stranger situation here. Did they rip off this movie? I forget the payoff of this scene. Oh yeah, there he is. Good tension.
Yeah.
All right, I guess not. I thought the masked figure was going to show up right on the other side of the slats. I'm glad they didn't do that.
This is the one with the glass and the shower.
Okay. It's a little drawn out. I mean,
A little bit, and a little something.
we just want to see
I
her
just keep
die.
wondering, is that actually a door, or is that just a stained glass window behind you? Because there's a door.
I think it's a stained glass window. Red carpeting is so weird.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
It looks great. I like the bloody handprints on the back wall. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's hot.
That's nice.
Hot. Now, question about the bloody nose thing. Let's say, for example, that we believe that it has come through the nose hole on the mask. And once it does that, it's on there.
Yes.
Like, you can't really clean it off, in my opinion.
Okay.
And
Are you going to stop in the middle of your slash and stock to do a little touch-up or something?
Right,
yeah.
like, and now at this, like, I could see, okay, you took it home, it's the next day, now it's clean. But this, like, it's clean again after, right?
I believe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's take a pause on that.
And here again, why is the cop calling these people and saying, like, he's not even calling Denise Richards, who he likes. Like, if he called her, that would make more sense because he's trying to get an in with her or what, I don't know. But he's...
Well, the last time he called, it was directly to her.
Exactly.
So.
But why?
Yeah.
She's not even related.
Convenience, and there you go. On the wagon.
Ooh, great line.
And
a good character arc or story here. And she immediately loses all trust in him. As anyone would. Don't be mad, it's Valentine's Day? Is Valentine's Day associated with drinking? No.
No. St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. New Year's Eve. Okay.
Yes. This is nice.
I would even take Memorial Day as a drinking holiday.
Okay.
Did she just happen to have this suit with her?
Well, Capshaw's character says, well, she always ends up finding the hot tub at these parties. So
okay.
She
came prepared. She came prepared. Okay. I take umbrage with this scene. I have a problem. Now, okay. I love champagne. Cheap champagne, though. Mm-hmm. Not this expensive shit. I want a $4 bottle of Cook's.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of, like, sneaking around that she would be able to see the guy before he attacks her. And I really think it's way too... Like, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a little like...
So here he is. He's approaching her. Okay, fine.
Yeah, the thing with Master of the Frosted Glass, on Halloween, they do the key light.
Oh, yeah.
Dialing in type of thing. That's...
So... He closed the door behind her, but he's still in the room.
Right.
And
she's somewhere.
She's looking around.
In
like,
this 360-degree area.
Right,
somewhere.
It's in the middle of... And all of a sudden, there's a rose.
Right.
How did he... Was he crawling on the floor?
Yeah.
Explain to me where he is and how she couldn't see him.
Right.
Oh, he's in the ficus.
Yeah.
Everybody does, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. She looks like $1 million.
Yeah, she's a 10.
Oh.
Good old Charlie Sheen.
Not far after all Wild Things.
Oh, yeah.
That was steamy, man.
With my gal, Neve Campbell.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've never seen Denise Richards in person, so I can't make an assessment. But I have been within a couple feet of Neve Campbell, and holy smokes. There's that much room on the other side of the jungle? Who designed this room? And it's like pool tile around. You would be able to hear everything.
Yeah.
Ow.
Ouch.
Good God. That's nice.
Yeah, well, when I refer to the scene, I mainly at this point onwards is the trapping and the killing and all that. This is all really nicely done.
It's
inventive.
I really like the throwing into the hot tub head first because, as you can see, there really is very little room on the inside.
It sounded like she clunked her head in there.
Right.
Yeah, again, he cleaned it off.
He cleaned it off? Why would he do that? Kind of like Slumber Party Massacre here with the drill. That's the same kind of drill, I think. What a great film that is. Here you go. Air hole. Never mind. This hot tub now has a blowhole. It's a mammal. Ow.
Yeah, it's a nicely inventive scene. I mean, I compare this like Scream 3, which had like no inventive kills whatsoever. This is really nicely done.
Aww.
There goes the party.
Which, as you know, in a movie means everybody leaves.
Everybody leaves. Somehow there's still some kind of moonlight getting into the house.
Now the cars are coming this way.
I don't know.
What?
There it is.
Oh, so the line comes after, though.
Oh, yeah, that's strange.
That doesn't add up.
No, that should have been beforehand.
There's nobody left, right?
There's no...
What about the art guy? Is he still around?
I don't know. he doesn't get killed, does he? I don't think he gets killed.
I don't think so either.
It's a shame, man.
Well, you know why? Because Adam was never in a scene with him. He doesn't know he exists.
Oh, well. Well, there's no power in this place. There's a lamp on in the background. There's all this nice
they're
moonlight glow.
Very well lit.
Goddamn Boda, man. He's ghosting on the gaffer.
This Dorothy is extremely defensive of this person that she's really only just met. And I don't quite understand.
Oh.
Other than...
She's going to get into something here.
I've never been as good and you're jealous because I finally got to your level? Like, what? I don't know. Yep, sure were.
I mean, I understand what they're going for.
Me too, but...
That she feels like she's a little outcast a little bit. She's got this inferiority complex and all the stuff with the dad, with the mail order bride stuff. That's not helping her life.
But it took until...
She feels... From her perspective, she feels like she's kind of persecuted in a certain way. She's not gotten...
Right, I get it.
As much as the other ones.
But it took until the events of this party for her to say that?
Yeah.
She wouldn't have had this resentment the entire last decade?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because they've been buddy best friend...
Yeah,
since then.
Grade school.
Since then.
Yeah. It feels like it should have been something that was like almost like a recurring thing in their lives, that she gets in these situations with these relationships that kind of maybe fail out because she doesn't feel adequate or something like that, or...
This is a nice little beat where they...
Yeah.
She calls the cell phone and it's in the koi pond or whatever it is. Look at that big old candy bar. It's basically like a cordless phone from inside your house. Mm-hmm. Oof. Yeah. I like the musical beat there to the stinger. The IOU being there, isn't that a giveaway that it's now Adam?
That would be, yeah.
Because the detective didn't have any IOUs.
No.
There's definitely light in the middle of this room.
Right.
That's not moonlight.
No. Again, there's lamps on in various random places.
I mean, it's pretty. Yeah. It looks great. Yeah. But at the same time, don't tell me there's no power when all these lamps are on.
Right.
It's not a backup generator.
No.
You heard a noise. Which, if you go back to the dance, she's the one who said maybe some other time.
Okay.
So it is kind of nice that...
Yeah. Bookending out.
Yeah.
On that, yeah.
And why does his nose never bleed?
When he's around her or something, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little... Yeah, it's a little kabuki-ish.
Yeah.
Especially because they do it at the end.
Right. Because this isn't something they changed while they were filming. This was on an earlier draft of the script, but he wasn't the actual original killer. It was Capshaw's character.
Okay.
Her whole diatribe there was basically her motivation why she would have killed everyone in the previous drafts of the script.
Which is why they do the swerve here coming
right.
Because even watching it back a little while ago, I was like... I think it's him, and then they did the swerve, and I was like, oh, wait, it is actually her. And then they went, oh, yeah, no, I was right the first time.
Once we get up to it, we can analyze it a little better. It's not... I don't feel it's executed as well as it could be.
Ransacked. Because everybody used these upstairs rooms for banging all night long.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty terrifying. Because he's kind of drunk, I guess. And
how they're lighting it and everything. A little shadow goes a long way.
It's stalker-ish. The music is good.
Yeah.
That's not good. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it feels mostly like an 80s update of a slasher film. They got the same sort of beats they hit in certain places.
Yeah, it's...
The main final girl, she ends up running around the house and finding all the other murder scenes, stuff like that. So, I mean, they got a good handle on some aesthetics and stuff like that. They know their genre. I mean, as I mentioned, not so much on tape, but... this is the same director who did Urban Legend, where...
Oh, yeah, they did. You did say it was not on this, but you told me off air.
Yeah.
The Urban Legend connection, which...
yeah, he directed Urban Legend, where I feel like... I never thought it was scary.
Urban Legend?
Urban Legend.
Yeah.
It's got a good idea. It's got a good concept. I just never felt like it really went and twisted it on its head to make it clever enough. And the film, for me, doesn't work until it just becomes a straight stalk and slash film instead of leaning on the gimmick. Felt like when you get towards the third act of that film, when it's just stalk and slash, running around stuff, it works really well.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, but I feel like that's why this one works a little better than that one does, because it's a little bit more straightforward of a slasher film. It's not trying to work with a gimmick so much. I mean, as we've said, this one doesn't seem to work as much with the Valentine gimmick as you maybe could. At least
I get why they, it's relationshipy. It's fine.
Yeah.
It would have been better, I think, had the Dorothy character spent time during the movie setting up the Valentine's party.
Yeah.
I don't know, just
almost obsessive in a certain way.
Yeah. That would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Yeah. And there is a deleted bit It's actually not on the actual disc, I don't think. But they did say that with this fake out, there was a piece of footage shot where you saw Boreanaz' character actually putting Capshaw's character into this outfit here. But obviously, that's not a woman.
Right.
She's not a flat-chested woman.
Yeah.
That doesn't work as a fake out. So, yeah, they said they shot... There's trivia saying that they shot the sequence where he's puts her in the outfit and they kind of throws her from whatever shadowy corner into her. Yeah. But they didn't want to give away the reveal because they want to do the twist.
Yeah, I think this works.
It works.
Because I actually, when this reveal happened, I went, oh, that makes sense. Like, I almost kind of wish they would have left it like this.
Yeah.
And not gone back to him.
Yeah.
Because I think there's enough, she could have just used the memory of Jeremy Melton as enough.
Right. And would have given him a little bit of an arc, saying he comes back around after all this stuff. And
it actually, he wasn't the bad guy after all. It would have been better for him.
Yeah.
So it does lose me a smidge.
But you would have to go back and scrub certain things. You'd have to rework the story because she doesn't have the nosebleed thing going on. There's no reason why she would have that. So you'd have to remove that gimmick from the whole thing.
Throughout the entire movie, neither does he.
Right.
So
yeah. But at least you set it up at the beginning of the film where the kid getting picked on it's just a little messy to clean up.
Well,
saying that the kid at the beginning would have to have it anyway.
You would also, I was going to say, you don't have...
It would actually work better without it.
The nosebleed thing is completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
You could take all of it out of this whole thing.
And it would actually work better because then they create just more general...
Ambiguity. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the more I mean, I've always enjoyed this movie, but the more I think about it, the more I think it would have been better with no nosebleed and Capshaw as the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then you can even end here on this happy note.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. That's obviously from a different...
Well, yeah, because...
they spliced that in from a different part that doesn't fit.
Why isn't she opening her eyes?
Right, that kind of bothered me, too.
And I don't know. All the times they were together...
Yeah.
He never had a nosebleed?
And that's never brought up by her.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a little flimsy.
Fuck that.
In places, yeah.
Denise Richards' first billing. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Stunt coordinator Danny Virtue. Or I
Do
think.
you know this person?
I think he was in the credits of Jason Takes Manhattan as well.
Okay, there was also a Marshall Virtue, so a relative, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, okay, because I didn't see this one in the theater. I picked it up on DVD and everything.
I saw it in the theater.
I don't even know when I did. It was like, I think I pretty much knew that it was from the same director. I would have rented it, and I was like, this works a lot better than Urban Legend on the whole. It wasn't as good as I remembered it being. It was the big thing. I was watching it the other day. Cupid
Mask by K&B.
Yeah. But I think it deserves a little bit more recognition than it probably.
He was kind of in this disposable era.
Yeah, the slasher stuff was just kind of drying up.
Yeah, it ebbs and flows,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And Scream was kind of the beginning of the new era.
Yeah.
And this was like the end of it.
Yeah.
Because here was also the beginning of The Grudge and The Ring and all of that shit.
Yeah.
And that was the new, supernatural Japanese influence.
That's the next thing that made the next big bang.
Right.
I mean, this one made about 36 off of 10 million, so it was still a very nice hit for Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
It didn't rock the world or anything, but I don't know. Even the screenwriters were kind of throwing around. We would still do Valentine 2. It's not doing a Valentine 2.
No, please, let's not.
Not 20 years later. No, let's leave it alone. Leave it alone.
No,
we don't. It's fine. Just leave it one film. We don't need. Otherwise, it's gonna be. It'd be just like the Urban Legend sequels, which I saw when they're all bad.
I don't know if I saw. Maybe I saw the second one.
The second one.
I
have a morbid want to see the second one again, for whatever reason. The third one. If we ever get to that, we can get into that.
I always confuse Urban Legend with I Know What You Did Last Summer. I never remember which one's which.
Urban Legend has like Alicia Witt. It's got Robert Englund in it as the professor, and Brad Dourif as a piece of the gas station attendant at the start. So,
well, anyway, I hope you get some chocolates and
some flowers.
Some flower, right? Yeah, get your Valentine. Get a Rolex or a Cupid that belongs to another lady.
Or just relax in a nice hot tub.
Right. Try not to get stabbed. Yeah. Is really the best tip that we can offer here.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you have a good time, and we'll be back soon.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.